start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. And big topic is the same, very interesting topic, which is a personal, Tehillim, personal information. Okay. And very interesting topic, teachers. We have already detailed that the laws Lashon Hara, as they apply to teachers who wishes to discuss his or her students with others, right? Meaning one teacher is going away and one coming in and say, okay, please tell me about the kids, right? So that's it could be dangerous. In addition, additional concern for the teacher is that of the guilty sod, sharing the information that was related to confidence by a student, in confidence by a student. Okay. The common situations, especially among the teachers of the young children, is where the student divulges information concerning his family that his parents would certainly not want anyone to know. Under no circumstance may a teacher believe such information if it is involved negativity, or if it is becoming known, could cause the family harm. Obviously, the teacher may not relate to others what was said by the child. Moreover, to inform the parents of what the child said may be ridiculous, as it may cause the ill will between parents and the child, or anas dvarim, causing hurt through the spoken word. In certain situations, it may be correct for the teacher to speak to the parents so they can caution the child not to repeat such information again. If, however, the child mentions something that is a cause for alarm, the teacher involvement may be necessary. This is especially true when the information involves abuse. The matter must be investigated, and when necessary, proper authorities should be contacted. So it's not all there is continuation, different page. So let's do from the beginning. And of course, the job of the teacher is not easy, right? And child tells you. Sometimes children make up things. Okay. So, but they would tell you with a complete confidence. That's what exactly happened, which is dangerous. Okay, so let's see. Again, teachers. We already detailed that the laws of Lashon Hara that apply to teacher who wishes to discuss her students with others. So usually with others, as we say, with other teachers. An additional concern for the teacher is that Gilui Sod, sharing information that was released confidence by a student. So a student came and said what's going on in their house, right? Is it true, not true? It's a different story, right? But for sure, a student does not want a teacher to tell anybody, right? A common situation, especially among the teachers of young children, is where a student divulges information concerning his family that his parents could certainly not want anyone to know. Whatever is it? Of course, abuse, as we said, is exception, but other things, yeah. So we have to keep quiet. Under no circumstance may a teacher believe such information if it involves negativity, or if it is becoming known, could cause the family harm. Right? So, okay. So meaning sometimes kids make up. Sometimes somebody else tell the kids. I know sometimes grandparents they're against one side or something like they can tell kids, and to turn kid against one of the parents. Very simply. Obviously, the teacher may not relate to others what was said by the child. Especially in this case, it's not Tehillim, it's not for constructive purpose. Okay. 1 second. Right. So again, moreover, to inform the parents of what the child said may be ridiculous, as it may cause the ill will between the parent and the child, or anas dvarim, causing hurt through the spoken word. In certain situations, it may be correct for the teacher to speak to parents so that they can caution the child not to repeat such information again. Meaning, child brings some reports about what's going on in the family. So of course he or she is little. They did not mean to bring the harm, but the children, it's like little sponges. They absorb everything that was going on, and they just repeat. So just don't think the child is small and he or she does not understand. Maybe they do not understand, but they can repeat whatever they heard, and they believe whatever you said. Even maybe you said it in humorously way, but they would take it as something serious. If, however, the child mentioned something that is cause for alarm, the teacher's involvement may be necessary. Right? Of course, we need to investigate. If it's abuse, it's even if it's abuse, does not mean that the child is telling the truth. Many times we heard many reports when teachers got upset with a Rebbe in yeshiva, and they just tell bad things about the Rebbes. So even one or two children in the class, and it's known fact. So they accused absolutely innocent person. Right. 413. 1 second. It was. So continuation. When older students share personal information with teacher, the teacher may not pass the information on to others. Okay, so kids, now we're talking about older students. If the advice of a colleague or supervisor is necessary, the student's identity should not be divulged. Right, so more older students come and they have a question, they have an issue in the house. So of course we must keep it quiet on one. But between us, because it is a secret. But on the other hand, sometimes you need a consultation. You don't have such experience, this and that. So you're allowed to consult, but take out the names. And same you said, if somebody needs advice of the Pesach, most of the time these names are absolutely irrelevant. And where they live also, unless it has anything to do with the case, it's irrelevant. The teacher may reveal the information along with the student's identity only when the student disclosed facts of which halacha requires him to inform the others. Okay. Maybe it was some kind of abuse or something. This includes any medical condition or behavior problem of which the school administration should have been informed. For example, chemical abuse. Right. So because it's dangerous to the whole school. As in the case of a therapist or a lawyer, a teacher should be in contact with halachic authorities in dealing with this issue of confidentiality. Confidentiality. Right. So it's not so easy to be teachers today, our days. Okay, so stop here. Let's see if we have any questions on the topic. Okay, so we have a question on the topic. I have a question about Lashon Hara. I wonder, why is the teacher allowed to listen to the Lashon Hara related by the students? How do the teacher know that it is for constructive purpose? Does it make a difference if the students are halachic adults? Okay, so that's a very good question. So let's read from the beginning and try to answer. Question about Lashon Hara. I wonder why the teacher is allowed to listen to Lashon Hara related by the student. Okay, so one of the exceptions then when we are allowed to listen to Lashon Hara, I would say maybe it would be a good example from our spouses. So the wife comes and she tells what happened at her job, or what happened in the store, what happened with the neighbor. So and she wants to express her feelings. She's very upset, and in this case we're allowed to listen to her. Of course, not allowed to believe everything that she said, but at least allowed to provide the comfort. You understand? So the people is in distress, suffering, and by just listening to let them take it off the chest, it's actually a big help. So in this case, this student, a little child, so something is going on in their life, and they're afraid, and they do not know what to do with information, something, and they wanted to tell somebody, right? Looks like in the house they cannot say, right? Maybe they're afraid, maybe I don't know what's going on, right? So the only person that they trust, they go to teacher. So it's actually because of the trust, and if they trust the teacher, and it would be for constructive purpose, because whatever teacher is going to say, most likely the person is going to do, right? This child. So many times these children would believe teachers more than they believe their parents, and listen to the teachers, right? Because of course teachers spend much more time with the kids than the parents, and educates, constantly talking to them, right? So that's why it is allowed for to a teacher to listen to them, right? Of course, not to believe, not to take any actions, but at least see if they actually can help. So because many cases in family abuse, like child abuse, child molestation, things happen. So who else they're going to come? They're not going to go to principal, they're not going to go to police, but to a teacher, yeah, they can tell them what's going on, right? Or somebody is sick, for example. So a child is scared, his mother is sick, very sick, so they're in distress, so nobody's paying attention to him because have to take my mother to the hospital, from the hospital, and child is neglected. He does not know what to do. So there are many situations, right? So they turn to a teacher. Next, second part of the same question. How do the teacher know that it is for constructive purpose? A teacher does not know. Teacher does not know. And same, I would say, it's with adults. So if somebody comes to you and somebody trusts you, right? Somebody close friend of you or a colleague or something, and they want to share with you their burden, whatever is going on. So we're allowed to listen, right? Not to listen when somebody is distressed and they want to take the load of their chest, and not to listen. It's a very actually cruelty. So it's actually one of the our sages say it's one of the act of chesed, right? And as I think we said that when we learned about tzedakah. So there is tzedakah with money. Tzedakah with money, you can only help poor people, people in need, right? But rich people or people who is doing okay. I mean, they don't need your money. I mean, they're not exactly rich, but they survive. They have money to pay rent, food, heat, I don't know, air conditioner. That's it. They're fine. Clothing, right? So they don't need your money, but they need your moral support. So, and that's also considered to be tzedakah, acts of chesed, right? So we're allowed to listen. But what in all of these cases that we already discussed and that we're not allowed to, that person comes and just relates negative things about some other people for no reason whatsoever. Like, how does it apply to me? So his brother's wife did such. Okay, I mean, can I help you? Like, are you going to listen to my advice? Are you asking me advice? Am I qualified to give advice? Maybe you would listen to it, but I'm not qualified. I'm not there, so I would not be allowed to listen, right? Does it make different students halachic adults or not? I don't think so. I don't think so, as we just explained. So in some situation, when somebody is distressed, somebody is bothered, somebody is in this mode of anxiety, and I know people like that who is in anxiety. Like, I mean, it's not so easy to help them because of many circumstances. But at least you try to ease their pain. Right, but the most difficult part, I guess, not to believe what they say. Okay. So second question. Next question. A hypothetical question about Lashon Hara. If one is a teacher of teenagers and a kid is straying away from Judaism, but trust the teacher. Is the teacher allowed to listen to the student Lashon Hara in order to maintain the relationships and try to get him back to the derech? Very good question. So, hypothetical question again about Lashon Hara. If one is a teacher of teenagers, okay, and a kid is straying away from Judaism, but trusts the teacher, okay, is the teacher allowed to listen to the student Lashon Hara in order to maintain the relationship and try to get him back to the derech? Okay. Oh, yes, of course. In this case, you will allow to listen to Lashon Hara, but try to channel it to something constructive. So let them start speaking, and then you take over and channel into some other things. Understand? So because if we're going to shut this person, this boy, down right away, so we're going to lose the relationship. That's not what we want. So if we are the only person that they trust, and we are the only connection to Judaism that they're trying to distance. So yeah, we're allowed to maintain these relationships, right? But try to direct this person to right derech. Okay, so I guess yeah, that's it. All right.